first day of school. Hope everybody's excited to go. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited. I woke up early this morning and shaved half my beard off. Golly, when I looked at myself in those videos yesterday, I was like, golly, who is this dude? He's looking rough. So let's go ahead and get started on our syllabus. We'll go over that. Whether you're in American History 1 or Honors American History 1, the syllabus remains the same. The only thing that changes is really just the workload. So we'll go through this. I'll tell you a little bit about my expectations, and then we'll be good to go. So if you're looking at your syllabus right now, which hopefully you've already at least taken a look at it. If you haven't and just switched in, again, just make sure you do so. But I want to go over it together just so we're on the same page. So general information, you got my name, the room number. So if you do come to school in terms for like tutoring or whatever, you know where I am on the history hall. Last year, I learned something that each hallway has different little, squares or diamonds on the floor. I didn't know that was different hallway to hallway. So if you don't know what the history hall is, you walk in towards the gym, take a left, and it's the one with the red squares. All right, got phone number. You can call the school if you need to get in touch with me. I would say the easiest way to get in touch with me is through my email address, and I have that listed for you. Again, it's just a little bit more. That's just a little simpler. Also, I have a note of it, so I know what you need. You know what I'm trying to say to you. There, it's not lost in translation as much. So if you do need anything, email is probably the best way. So what are you going to need for this class? Well, this syllabus is mainly just for the first term because if we come back to school in September, things are going to be a little bit different. Things are a little bit different right now, so I wanted to make sure to kind of accommodate that. So what do you need right now? Well, you need computer, laptop, tablet. I didn't put phone on there, but you can do most of your classwork from your phone. I know most of you have your Chromebook, hopefully. Use that, whatever. Internet access. You do need to be able to access the internet. If not, you need to contact either me, you can contact one of your other teachers. Really doesn't matter, but Mr. Wheat, but make sure that you get on the flash drive list so we can definitely make sure to get you what you need. What else are you going to need for this class? You're going to need discipline. I think we all kind of learned that lesson last semester, post March 13th when we weren't in school anymore, but we still have work to do. The discipline aspect, that's tough because I know a lot of you, your computer or your laptop or whatever is in the same room as your Xbox. Ooh. So which one are you going to choose? Well, we got to be disciplined. And that goes for me as well. Like, as you can see, I'm in here in the classroom every day because I know if I'm at home and I'm going to try to do everything for class at home, I'm going to get distracted. So that's why I'm coming here. I know that you guys don't necessarily have that opportunity, but do what you need to do to make sure you get your classwork stuff done. Lastly, what do you need? Sense of humor. I don't try to take things too serious. You'll see that more when we come back to school. I'm not very photogenic, as you can tell, or videogenic, if that's a thing. That has to be a thing. All right, so let's look at the official course description. So I'm going to read this real quick. American History 1 began with European exploration of the New World and will travel through the Civil War and into the Reconstruction period. Students will examine the historical, intellectual origins of the United States from European exploration and colonial settlement to the Revolutionary and Constitutional eras. Students will learn about the important political and economic factors that contributed to the development of colonial America and the outbreak of the American Revolution, as well as the consequences of the Revolution, including the writing and key ideas of the U.S. Constitution. That sounds like a lot of fun. So, in saying all that, in that large description that I just ran through, what exactly are we going to be learning about? That's that next part of our syllabus. So what exactly are we going to learn about? We're going to be learning about European exploration. We're talking about, again, not just the discovery, of America, but by the Europeans. But why they were kind of moving around to begin with, and what Columbus's discovery, what impact it had, over the next 110 years, because while Columbus discovered America in 1492, it wouldn't be until 1607, my dates are a little off, 1607 that the first English colony, first permanent, keyword permanent, permanent English colony in what would later become the United States would be established. So we'll take a look into that. We'll look at colonial America. So again, talking about from those early colonies, we'll actually start with the Lost Colony, which is one of my favorite things to study because it deals with North Carolina history down in Manio. If you go to the Outer Banks, went there like, a month and a half ago? Right before 4th of July. So I guess just over a month ago. And yeah, passing, going to Nag's Head, you pass right through Manio, and that is where the Lost Colony is. Now, unfortunately, because of all the COVID stuff, I wasn't able to actually even go look at and kind of explore around through there. I think they have like a visitors museum, some other stuff, a history guy like me would really enjoy. I didn't get to do any of that, so I'm gonna have to go back to Nag's Head sometime soon. The Revolutionary Era. Revolutionary Era is one of my favorites. It's probably where most of my studying has been in terms of American history. The Revolutionary Era is important for many reasons. We're going to go through all of them, or at least, attempt to. The American Revolution is not only important in terms of American history, but also world history and global history. And so we're going to see that impact. The early Republic, I would say this is, again, another one of my favorite areas of American history, especially dealing with the writing of the Constitution. The writing of the Constitution, obviously, we're talking about an entire government set up by a document that is what we call living, that can be changed and amended. An interesting concept, very interesting concept, especially this idea of a republic with democratic principles. Again, this is not something that the rest of the world was steady practicing. So we'll take a look into that. We'll look into westward expansion, starting with essentially the the expedition of Lewis and Clark, really taking us all the way into our Manifest Destiny period, which is going to be talking about the Texas Revolution, the Mexican-American War, the Gold Rush in California. A lot of people, I always find this interesting each year. A lot of people don't understand why the San Francisco 49ers, the NFL football team, are named what they are. So, hey, if you want to get a head start, check into that. And lastly, really where we'll end our class is with the Civil War and Reconstruction. So the Civil War, obviously we know this is North versus South, Confederacy versus Union. We'll take a look at not only the causes, not only the effects, but how the Civil War were affecting civilians during this time. Obviously we'll be talking about the presidency of Abraham Lincoln, unfortunately also his assassination and the fallout from that in that post-Civil War era. So what kind of assignments can you expect from this class? So again, right now, with things not being per usual, I'm trying to do a little bit different stuff, trying to make sure that you're accommodated, and that it's stuff that you can do at home, you feel confident doing, but also it's going to challenge you. So classwork is going to consist mainly of like bell ringers, certain polls that I put up, pretty simple things. More so, your classwork is just to take attendance, and also to kind of get you thinking, get that brain pumping, get that brain moving. But classwork will be daily. that is 20% of your grade. 25% of your grade are minor activities. So typically this is where quizzes would go, but I don't feel the need to necessarily do quizzes as much as I typically do. I like to do notebook quizzes, really about once a week, once every 2 weeks. But you know, I didn't really feel that was quite necessary right now. So minor activities could be video discussion guides, primary source analysis. 25% of your grade is going to be projects, which would be like presentations, you know, whether it be a slideshow, whatever, that you submit to me. Short essays. I'm big into writing. If you can write about something, you know about it. You have to be able to write. You have to be able to write. I'm gonna say it one more time. You have to be able to write. Simulations. I do have like some cool little games and stuff like that where you'd have to, you know, complete the game and then give me a little quick write-up about, you know, kind of what you learned. And 30% assessment, which would be tests and exams. We'll go over that a little bit more when we get to it. So what about makeup work? Well, since it is online, you know, all your work is always posted. So you have a running tab of the assignments that you need to get in. I'll just say this. The makeup work is kind of going in with the same category as turning things in late. Me, personally, I would rather you turn in the work than get a 0. I'm gonna hold you guys accountable. But again, I also want to challenge you. And sometimes just letting you get a 0 on something isn't really teaching you the content that I want to teach you. Maybe teaching you a different lesson. But the way that it'll work each day, and again, because I know that we're going to have some issues here, there, we're going to have some, you know, some ups and some downs, just because the way this, you know, we got to be pragmatic a little bit. So I'm going to deduct, if it's late, I'm going to deduct 5 points each day. So after 5 days, that's, and I'm talking weekends too. So after 5 days, you know, that is 25 points. So the highest grade you'll be able to make is 75. That does not mean you automatically get a 75. That means the highest grade. So I will grade it as is, and then I will deduct those, you know, points that have accumulated. So that means after 10 days, the highest you can get is a 50. So if the highest you can get is a 50, again, same principle, you know, same concept. But even if it is 4 or 5 weeks late, I will keep that 50 potential. Again, I'd rather see you do the work. And also, I don't want one 0 to totally kill your grade, especially with what we got going on now. But you will be held accountable. So whether it's a month late and you turn it in for a 50, or you get a 40 on it, that is still a lot better than a 0. How often will grades be entered in? Grades be entered in weekly. So I'm going to take everything that you do over the course of the week. I'm going to spend Friday grading, and then I'm going to put it in between Friday and Sunday. I'm going to try my best to get it in as soon as I can. Be patient with me, but it will be in by Monday. I got to hurry because I only got about a minute 30 left. Big thing is talk to me. If there's something going on, let me know. If you're sick, you can't do work for a couple days, let me know. If there's a death in the family, God forbid, again, let me know. If you break both of your hands, again, let me know. Our goal is to work together. Lastly, well, we'll look at the class expectations in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna get big off this YouTube game. Thank you.